Welcome back. Appreciate you tuning in. Welcome back, or welcome to the channel if it's your first time. Coming in today with an update from my last week. So basically, last week I did not fast. I ate copious amounts of food. I ate 2 to 3 pounds of beef every day, 2 to 3 cans of sardines every day, eggs, just whatever I really wanted as long as it was carnivore. Probably averaged about a half gallon of milk every day as well. I get real natural, lightly pasteurized cream cap milk, not like the gallon jug at Walmart. So I consider that okay. My body responds to it. If it's not right for you, don't drink it. I ended up staying at 244 for last week. So I rebounded as expected from the water fast because you're starting to eat food again after 120 hours without it. Um, so I came down 6 pounds, 7 pounds total. Look back at my log. I started out at 251. So if you come down to 244, so that's 7 pounds. That's not bad. And I wasn't gaining any. It wasn't like I was eating this copious amount of food and gaining weight again. I actually think my body recomposition was getting better with even me eating that amount of food. So I feel like I was starting to, like, there's like these little places like right here where, like, when I look down, I can see it doesn't really look like it on the camera, but there's just like these little cuts that I can see that are starting to come in a little bit better, even though I was eating, right? And even though I was eating an excessive amount of calories. Did 22 miles last week. Depending on how you calculate it, looking at the Garmin app, it's between like 22 and 24, but we'll go with 22. I'm feeling great. I refed or feasted for the day after. I ate anything and everything I wanted. I'm eating mostly porterhouses and New York strips this week because they had a sale on those at the store. Um, and I actually had my first gym session, which was really cool. I haven't been to the gym in years. If you consider like actually trying to make progress for more than 3 months at the time, or heck, 2 months at the time, it's probably been a solid decade or more since I've actually been in the gym and lifted. I did my standard full body welcome back to the gym routine, which is like your horizontal push, your horizontal pull, vertical push, vertical pull, and then a form of legs. So for that, I did the leg press. I did the leg press. The very next day, I went and I had to do like my long run, which ended up being like 6.6 and a quarter miles, and that was rough. Like doing leg press the way I did, and then getting sore, and then doing a 6.25 mile run the next day. Do not recommend at all. Probably should have thought that out a little better, but I am kind of beholden to what my watch says, so I didn't realize it was going to put me on a long run that day. The schedule before didn't say long run on Sunday, which is the day I did it. It was saying like a VO2 max or some other session on Sunday. I can't remember. And then I woke up Sunday, and because I slept so good, it's like, you got to go do a long run. Oh, that's another thing. In my previous videos, I've always been saying, like, I can't sleep. My sleep is off. Garmin hates my sleep. As soon as I did the water fast, I think it's more like heart rate variability and whatnot. My sleep scores have gotten better, and then I've been more consistent on carnivore. I have eaten very little like cheese or any of that type of dairy products. Oh, and I've been eating like little pats of butter as well. Salt that pat of butter. Man, those are good. And so with my new diet, or with my refined diet, right? For me, again, everything is like micro stacking. Like it's good now, and then we take away or add something that's better. We take away, we add something, take away, add, whatever. And you'll get to a point where you're at the level you want to be at, right? So although I'm not a perfect 100% pure carnivore, doesn't eat anything, what was it that, I think it's, oh, there's one of the doctors, and he's like grass-fed panda massaged beef or something like that. Like, I'm not there yet, but I'm climbing the ladder. I'm trying to get there, so that's working out. I do also need to work on my water intake. Water intake has been kind of pitiful, honestly. I'm essentially down to the point where my only water intake is what I drink with filtered through my coffee beans, and that's not the way you're supposed to do it. And that was just last week because, I mean, again, I was drinking half gallon of milk. That's not really that much fluid intake in terms of like hydration. But then I was also like eating a bunch of steak and doing all this other stuff. So I didn't feel that need for water like you do if you're like water fasting or whatever. Um, I did not fast. I've already said this last week. And then this week is a little bit undetermined, right? Like I fasted today just in case my body does want me to continue to fast for this week. Friday is Valentine's Day. We don't really celebrate Valentine's Day, right? Like we kind of, I mean, if you're doing it right, you're showing each other every day that you love each other. You don't have to have some day. Um, so we're not really leaning heavily on having a dinner or anything like that planned. But oh, and then yesterday when I stopped eating, sorry, when I started this fast, I got engrossed in my work and I forgot like what time it was, and I like looked down and it was way later than I normally stop eating. But I had some steaks in the sous vide. So I go and get the steaks out of the sous vide, throw them on my propane IR grill, and then the grill runs out of propane. So then I had to throw them in the oven. So by the time I was done eating, I was like 7:30, right? So I may just do like 116 hours this fast, which 116 hours would put me at lunch on Saturday, or I may just see how my body feels. Like today I feel great. Tomorrow um and why would you see how you feel? Because I'm also worried about trying to train this hard on a water fast and losing muscle mass. Although muscle mass right now is not my main concern, I do want to be cognizant of that and maybe do something like a protein sparing modified fast, add in some lean proteins and stuff, which I've done in the past. But for me, those don't really work so well because if I'm eating anything at all, I want to eat a lot. And it's hard for me to just eat dry chicken breast, which is essentially what you're supposed to eat on a protein sparing modified fast, because you're not supposed to have a lot of fat content, like less than 10 grams, I think it is per day. So it's like to truly get there, it's like you can't eat ground beef, you can't eat steak. I was gonna do it with sardines, although sardine fasting is like a thing I've seen recently. I saw it like a year or two ago as well, and that piqued my interest. So right now I'm gonna just ride it out with like I'm dry fasting for about 12 hours today. Then tonight in about the next hour, I'm going to start drinking water. And then, I'm going to see if I want to get to 116 hours with this regular fast, see how my body responds to it. Honestly, I'm going to wake up tomorrow, weigh in, measure, see how I'm feeling, maybe give it to like Wednesday, and then see how that actually works out for me. Nothing to me should really be set in stone. Like if I have had fast, very few, like maybe I can count them on one hand that I have initiated where I'm like, I'm gonna fast for 5 days, and I get to like day 4 and I just couldn't take it. Right? You have to be honoring and listen to your body as well, right? Like, can you mentally overpower that, and can you use willpower and make it through? Absolutely. But this is also about something that I'm trying to do to heal my body as well as lose weight and be honoring to myself. So it's like if my body is screaming that loud for me to stop, I might be nutrient deficient in something and it might be leaching it from my bones, and I might not have enough protein to recomp what I've already just been broken down on that 3 mile run, right? Like there are other variables in this equation. It's not like a closed system. So you got to really make sure that you take your whole life into account. Like when I did the 31-day water fast, I was fairly sedentary, as in like I was going to school. So I walked to class, I sat down, I stood up, I walked to another class, I sat down. I didn't do any running, any lifting, any training. So it was like super easy to do at that point. And even then it got a little dicey because I mean, you're walking 2, 3 miles a day still on campus, and you would get real lightheaded, hypovolemic on your blood. Like you would have too little blood volume, so you would just get super lightheaded, and you'd stand up and you get woozy. And, I remember several times I'd just like sit down on the like concrete or whatever, towards the end, right? Looking back on it, I'm not 100% sure it was the correct thing to do to keep pushing my body through that after like day 27, 28, right? But I had a number in my head, 31, that I really wanted to get to. Um, my ketones had already stopped dropping. This is a tangent, sorry, but I love numbers, I love data, I love fasting, I love the human body. I'm dedicated my life to helping and healing people. So I know this video is getting a little long, but the whole point of this vlog is for me to vlog my thoughts as well as kind of trying to meet like-minded individuals. So if you're in this space and you're watching this video to this point, then I think you would probably like want to know these things. But right now, the long and the short, I'm going to see how my body is and how it's responding and feeling. I was supposed to do a run today. I didn't do it. It's raining. It's cold. I went running in the rain and the cold yesterday. And to be just quite frank with you, at 22 miles, I am a little, plus my legs are recovering, plus like the rest of my body is recovering from the gym. I'm going to give my day a break, or my body a break. And then I'm also going to do the poses so you can see, like, if we can see if I've made any progress. So from the front, maybe if I did this, that would help. Like, I feel like this little lip is getting a lot leaner, and this little lip is non-existent on this side. And I noticed a lot, like I obviously have a lower fat line on this side, but I noticed before, gosh, which side was it? I think one side, I was watching the videos back and I was like, I'm heavily like twisted to one side. I'm starting to kind of balance out. I feel more balanced out and I'm not doing anything special. So I would, think maybe fasting and resting and sleeping and all of that is working for whatever that like skew was. I mean, it was pretty bad. I think it was like this. Yeah, like, I don't know. It was weird. Like when I would look at it, I was like, dang, I had no idea I was skewed like that. But anyway, thank you for tuning in. And as always, God bless. And I hope y'all are doing well.